Hopefully they're all feeling better.
Yeah, it seems a lot of people got sick. And,
I avoided it. My other son asked me if I could sleep with him so I could not get sick either. I said, "Oh, thanks for the offer."
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But I've managed to stay away from it so far, which is good. Okay. Well, good morning, Travis.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Travis. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody doing?
Good. So, Travis, I know there's a couple items left over for the Realize Live here, right? So, there's one specific item I would like to finalize today is the attendee for this Realize Live.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. So actually, one thing it caught my attention during our conversations, and you were planning to do the presentation over there, and however you mentioned that you cannot be there 4 days in a row. So that kind of surprised me. Can you explain a little bit more in details?
So, yeah. Well, real quick, I think it's probably important to back up a couple steps for sure, because I think that there is probably some misinterpretations. So, actually, you know what I'll go ahead and do, I'm going to share my screen real quick. So, because I think it's actually important probably to just get this out of the way. Because this is actually going to relate to a little bit of like what we're discussing. So this is an accommodation letter that I'm actually formally submitting right now to you three from my clinical physician that I have been seeing for a number of years. I really, because of the nature of your email, some of the implications, I think it's definitely important to clarify some things for sure. Because, I am committed to LTS, like Realize Live, my responsibility, my role as director of sales and marketing, my ability to perform this role, including high visibility, like Realize Live, like high visibility work, it's not in question. So I'm capable, prepared, and fully engaged. And what I was discussing was more a matter of manpower, and less a matter of capability. So that's why we're going to take a look at this before getting into any other details. I'm going to go ahead and actually read it. I really hate that I have to read it in such detail and share this level of depth regarding my disabilities with you guys, because I was really hopeful that, ADHD and adjacent associated would be enough to maybe get us in the right direction. And I can tell based on some clear actions that I can also outline on Friday, yesterday, even this morning, that I see kind of the, what we consider surface level support, but I also recognize some of the patterns behind that we can definitely get into with granular detail. So with that said, this is from my clinical physician.
Before you interrupt, Travis, just to be clear, we asked you to share whatever you felt was relevant, to what detail. Yep. There's obviously certain levels of details you are not required to share. So we appreciate everything that you want to share. And obviously anything that you can provide for greater insight allows us to be more knowledgeable about the situation and your circumstances. So
for sure. Yeah.
We'll move forward with that mindset. So yeah,
cause that's the thing is when I start to read this and I explain it, and if you have any questions, obviously, you'll see she's more than happy to answer any questions. She's been very involved with me throughout the last month, or at least I'd say the last couple months. But I've been seeing this particular doctor, obviously you can see, since December 2021. My clinical diagnosis disabilities are: I do have generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder, panic disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, do suffer from major depressive disorder, recurrent moderate without psychosis. I do have a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, post-concussion syndrome, and ADHD. This is all these diagnoses have been made based on clinical interview, diagnostic tools, and verified through me having neuropsychological testing at a facility last September. Due to the underlying diagnoses, I do struggle in adjusting with frequent changes in schedules, short notices, lack of having clear structured instructions, and unclear expectations of the role. Also, these struggles are more than likely due to a combination of factors, including struggles with inattention, anxiety, and mood, and anxiety exacerbated through certain comments that have been made. To my credit, and my doctor obviously says that I strive to do everything to the best of my ability and as independently for companies as possible, but does recommend certain accommodations with long-term to be helpful for me in the workplace. And does, as you can see, we have 4 bullet points: advance notice for meetings with a clear layout, feedback in conducive, non-judgmental ways. And so I can definitely, if we need to reiterate some of those documented instances of, the comments on weight, even the last meeting, I understand where it was coming from, but again, there's a level of professionalism to be maintained, and I really am trying hard. I've been trying very hard for this company, and it really hurts me a lot when it's not reciprocated, and oftentimes it feels retaliatory, some of these things. So non-judgmental feedback, clear expectations around performance goals, and flexibility in allowing mental health days for occurrence of the above symptoms. As mentioned here, you can reach out with any questions. So with that said, going to address this first, and now you have in the email, like I said, full capability to perform this role, any high visibility work. It is all based on a lot of it is based on what I would consider just standard professionalism and processes. When those aren't followed, when certain expectations shift, when things are unclear, like I can give some examples, even on Friday, like the interlude space circumstance, yesterday, Sazerac being completely ignored in the communication while Mason was being acknowledged. The abruptness of like joining calls now all of a sudden without notice. It's like, I know in this situation, we all kind of understand where it comes from. There would be some transparency behind and I can even, I have an entire table broken down of like how, this is what's conducive to support and how certain actions are not. And I don't know if there's just this lack of comprehension of how it's not supportive, and maybe it's just a little abrasive, right? But that's what I'm trying to work with you 3 on, is that first and foremost, because that would enable me to perform, as you can see. I'm sure you've been able to tell throughout my time at the company at different points, at very high levels. Right now, I don't have the capability. I don't feel like I have the capability to perform at a high level because the comments that have been made to me over the last, I would say 3-ish months, have put me in a place of, like, when you unfortunately struggle with these disabilities, there's a lot of things that then occur. Comments about weight, vague comments about product knowledge, without formalization in terms of training. Like even yesterday, the team's message Aaron to me about the vague, unknown variables for Realize Live that I then tried to clarify with you and said, hey, we can talk about that. What can we clarify? What can we immediately work on? And you didn't respond. You just thumbs up my comment, letting you know the booth number. So that right there is in kind of like, it literally ties into everything that like I had asked for in the accommodation email, and makes me very concerned that these behaviors have increased in frequency, and I've been communicated with less since submitting the letter. But this is now, as mentioned from the email I sent, this is one letter you'll receive. I have no issue submitting others because, again, I am fully capable of performing in this role high-level roles. But I do want to acknowledge that some of those actions and patterns have occurred since I disclosed my disabilities even more, including like sudden removal from these communications, right? There's some exclusion from duties in my job description that we could dig in on. Redirection of my direct reports, employees without my consultation or even knowledge. Those things affect my ability with these disabilities to work efficiently and have had direct clinical consequences on my health. I don't want to go into the details of what I've had to do with my doctor here, this particular doctor, as a result of like specifically like the comment about my weight. I just don't. But because again, we're here to discuss Realize Live. My intent here has never been to create disruption. My intent, and it has been, and it continues to be, to seek support needed to stay focused, very productive and effective in my role, which I know I can be. I've proven it when I've been given the right support. There are certain people that are very adamant, that were adamant in the past to speak up and support. There are others that I know, particularly like I could even say on this call, that have been less, let's just say less talkative, but also a little bit more, we'll say less supportive behind the scenes. Those behaviors have been recognized as well, to where I also want to create an improvement plan there in terms of communicating when a member of leadership perceives there to be issues, and then creates influence that then leads to trickle-down effects like where we're at today, as opposed to us just getting on calls and clarifying certain things, right? But, the ADA, the reason why I had to submit an ADA request is because this is really like, when Ian, you asked me to think about what I needed, and that really is what provides the ethical framework for support. That's what it puts us in a point where I trust the company will honor that framework based on things that have been said. Not only like procedurally, but with the same professionalism and that goodwill, since I've, that I've brought to this role since day one. And so I want to make sure that this doesn't become an issue of confusion or unintended consequences, because Realize Live, as I mentioned, it was literally like 30 seconds to answer your question, and then we were in and out, fully capable of being there, can be there all 4 days. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one that was going to be there all 4 days, because that hadn't been clarified. And for a number of weeks, I'd been trying to make you aware and trying to clarify that and have documents. And Richika and I have been working. If you go in the Teams Drive, we can literally timestamp it all. But as long as I'm not the only one there, that was my only concern. So I think like the overall question for this call, it's kind of been just answered in and out. But more specifically, then it's like the bigger picture tie into like what's being alluded to. So, if there's any specific questions or concerns about how to move forward with this, have any questions with my doctor, please obviously feel free. I want to do this and, move forward in a way that supports both the business and my continued success for myself and my teams. I'm open to hearing ideas, ideally in writing, so I can take the time to respond thoughtfully. Because again, it seems like there's certain things that have been come into question lately, and when I am given they're not unreasonable requests to make. To say, hey, don't make a comment about a person's appearance or in any way, right? Or regardless of intent. Don't vaguely just degrade a person's skills or put them into question if you're not going to clarify what it is that you're degrading and try to work to improve that with them. If we can, work on those types of things together, I'm not running into then issues. My disability then doesn't affect me nearly as much as it does. My biggest disability then that I have to focus on every day is my diabetes, which ends up being pretty well managed at sometimes. But then when, I won't get into the whole trickle-down effect from there, again, because that's, again, like I said, that's a topic for another day. But so, long story short, I'm more than capable of being at Realize Live. And if you need me there all 4 days, I'll be there all 4 days. I do think then at that point we need to go back to the conversation that you were having with us about travel. Because then it's a lot. I think there's a lot of things that are just being cast aside. We're not taking into account, company, wear and tear on people's vehicles, mileage, all that good stuff. So I'll be there all 4 days, but it's like, hey, if you want to rent me a car, like you said you would on that call with Mason and I for certain instances, feel free to, because that helps me. So I don't have to put the wear and tear on my vehicle like I have been. I mean, because I wasn't the one who brought up the rental car, for example, but so I don't know. I don't really, I know there's not really a lot to say here. Because this is, it's a lot to take in. I mean, I hate that I have to literally go down to this extent to tell you, like, I'm more than capable of doing my role, but it's literally actions that don't belong in the workplace that are, like, affecting me. And if we can work on those, like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be able to perform at levels beyond what you've even seen before. Okay, like, that's really the whole goal. But like, I haven't really seen that since I submitted the letter. All I've kind of seen is, what's the best word? How is the best word to describe this? What have I seen? Like disassociation, number one. Definitely the level of communication since I submitted the letter has been like, it's a 180. If we look at my job description, which I mean, like I was looking at it 2 days ago, yesterday, because I'm literally like, my mind is spinning right now as to why all this happening. All of this, like, it's so conflicting. Like even yesterday, Aaron, you pinging Mason, telling him to get in the marketing call without my knowledge. Like, that's my direct report. Like, you are the one who hired me and empowered me to be the leader, and you're literally stripping me of authority, responsibility, making me look like I do not have everything that's in my job description that you hired me for with my employee now. Like, the optics of that are really hard for me to then come back from when it comes from, like, to an authoritative managerial and leadership level. Right now, I feel like I'm losing the respect of my employee, and it's not because of my own actions. That's not fair to me. And that behavior we need to really work on that together, or, like, honestly, we have to, I don't know. I don't know, but it's, like, it's very clear.
Let me take it over from here, Travis, with respect to time. Like, I can speak for all of us. We understand what you're saying so far and kind of what you're conveying to us. In terms of that, you officially submitted your response after hours on the 22nd at 6:10 p.m. So, just to clarify here that you worked on the 23rd of May, and then you were off for the holiday on the Monday, and just returning here for Tuesday, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
And now we are here. So you're saying within the 2 operating business days, you're feeling like, from what we discussed or what was submitted, now you're feeling retaliation from that? Is that what I hear?
I wouldn't say, I'm not gonna go as far as outright.
And
putting
no,
wait, Ian, let's stop. You are being defensive on an HR level, and this is, we know where this is going. Then let's stop, please. I'm trying to de-escalate.
For 20 minutes.
I am trying to de-escalate this. You said the word retaliation, and we need to take a step back.
Right.
Please.
I think we need to stop the conversation here, Travis, because we gave you 20 minutes to talk. Let me have. I didn't even talk for 30 seconds.
Please,
here, okay?
Then
I'm just clarifying. It was a simple yes or no question. I'm hearing, what was your answer to that question?
Like, formally in terms of retaliation?
Yeah, that's what you noted. You said since you submitted the letter, you felt like the communication and the actions we take to exclude you, it's more of a retaliation. Is that what you're saying?
No, not officially.
No. Not officially, but unofficially.
Not officially. Okay. We're not going to.
So moving forward here, let's point the conversation. The actual point of the conversation today was to talk about Realize Live and sort of the details here. So once again, we're going through a meeting here, and it's definitely necessary for you to express how you feel. It's what we want to continue to do. But again, what we're getting into the conversation is not what the intended impact was. We're waiting for your medical documentation to be submitted, which you just did right on this call, to review it, to then enter into this interactive process to talk about the accommodations more or less. Mm-hmm. Since then, even before the interactive process meeting, we've already put in some of these accommodations. So in good faith, we're working with you. So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, I see. I see some of it for sure. You're right.
So that's good.
We can acknowledge.
Okay, so let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
And let's talk about what's in front of us, because from a business perspective, and not to take over the perspective of the big business, but the Realize live event here is 5 days away, and to my knowledge, it's a big cost to the business. So we want to make sure we maximize the return on investment in terms of execution, participation. So that's what we need to spend the next maybe 10 minutes with, right? Because I'm free until 10:30, but I'm not too sure the rest of the
I only available to 10:15. So Travis, and we give you roughly 20 minutes for your solo presentation here, right? So we give it enough time. That's why, and I think when Yan and me and potentially and Tanya can involved and engage to discuss more details, right? So the whole reason I think we have this meeting is for the Realize Life. Obvious, and you present this kind of a document to us and to justify your statement. And during the earlier call, you said you cannot participate in the Realize Life 4 days in a row. So that concerns us. That's everything started from here. And now you get some kind of a doctor note to support your statements. Am I correct?
So we clarified the Realize Live portion, right? So
no, actually, a lot of your statement is based on your understanding. Actually, I thank you for your confidence on you mentioned a couple of things, and but to whether we agree with those, I think it's a different story, right?
Wait.
So
when you say agree, I just don't. It's so vague. It's so vague.
It's our turn to give you feedback here. So everything here, because Realize Life is a big event for us, we invest a lot. We make sure, just like Ian mentioned, we want to make sure we get the best return on this investment. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that you cannot be there 4 days in a row. That concerns us.
Yep,
so
that's the third time you said that. So my answer to that was, I can be. I just want, again, this will be now probably the 5th time I've stated this on this call, to make it so clear, because this is where again, we're going back to why the whole point I had to get into all of this with you guys, why I literally had to get into this, is because we're not this is the 5th time. I have no issue being there for all 4 days. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one that was going to be there, because you had not clarified who was going to be there on that one day, and I've been asking you. And now, Ian, for as defensive and angry at me as you are right now for pushing back, and I get it, you have to protect the company. Can you at least verify that I have literally said that? Please, with some integrity here, I have said that. Can we just verify it? Please.
And again, to be clear, I'm not defensive or hostile towards you. I'm simply...
I don't think you're hostile. I'm sorry. I don't think you're hostile. No, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Honestly, Travis, I really approaching this to say, let's really work through this agenda to have the most effective outcome, right, for all parties involved. So
I appreciate it.
To clarify that, and we can clarify at a later date, I'm the middleman here, so I want what's best for everyone involved. Okay. I'm not one-sided. I will go to battle for you as the employee, but also, recognize that I'm here for the employer as well. I'm the middle ground, right?
Yeah, I totally understand. But can you just verify that I've said that, though, so we can just put this to bed? Because I'm trying to get.
I'm not too sure what I'm verifying here.
That I earlier in the call said, hey, I could be there for all 4 days. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. Yeah.
You did state that you could be there for all 4 days. Yes.
Okay. Because Aaron.
So I think let's move on from that. Then I think there's the more in-depth conversation we have to have around. Okay, so what's the plan? What is the execution points then that we're looking for Realize Live?
Yeah.
Just want to clarify, and Travis, you also mentioned that you won't be able to be there if it's 4 days, like by yourself.
Yeah, I said if I was the only one that was going to be there, like
you have a problem.
That would create an issue, right? We all know that logistically, that would be very tough to manage. I'm giving presentations, a booth, like that's why people have multiple parties there. Is there a specific point to that question?
I just want to clarify, make sure we understand correctly.
Travis, we never mentioned that you're going to be there alone. So as you aware, you are the one so far. You are the only one who in the company is handling this realized life.
I know. Luchika and I have been doing our best. We've been trying to get support.
Yes, Luchika and obvious, and Luchika also spent a lot of effort. So, yeah. But we have 2 presentation registration. We have 1 booth registrations.
Yes,
at the time
I know. I'm doing
put all this under your name. We don't even know, to be honest with you. Right? We know we have a booth. We have a ticket and a presentation, and I don't even know we have 2.
Okay.
So without knowing that, and at the time, I never mentioned you are only one be there.
Okay. Can I?
Right?
Okay.
Then we never mentioned that.
No worries.
At this moment, actually, start from yesterday, I knew we have 3.
Okay.
Already.
So
right?
No worries. On that front, I will go back because there has been a number of occasions where I have brought Realize Live things to the agenda at the marketing call, and you both, my leadership, have expressly then told me, just come up with an idea, or just do that, or just do this. Like, we can go back to those moments. I promise you we can if we need to identify specifics. I'm happy to do that so that we can create a better understanding, because in this moment, I don't want to feel like I'm being seagulled, and it kind of feels that way because I have been really transparent about everything. It's all been in the system. I've been trying to follow the process of to the T, and we're coming in now with a week to go and saying, oh, we don't know what's going on. But literally 3 weeks ago in the marketing call, I was like, hey, so for booth ideas, we really need to kind of get this finalized. And I was told, come up with some ideas. So I created a document, literally so many different ideas, and we didn't even review them. We just, on a call, we just ignored them completely. And a week ago, I was like, okay, we're going to do this, fill in that. So we did all the work that I was asked to do. And I can go back to that call in that moment, because I'm really good at taking notes, summarizing all of that. I was asked to do a lot of work that then wasn't even reviewed. And then it's just now we're coming in at the last minute. It's and this is what I've been trying to say. This is why I created an entire timeline for us back in January. So, I mean...
In this process, Travis, did you submit these for formal approval?
As
you know, our schedules are busy, but I've definitely seen Aaron and Tengen working after hours if they need to catch up on work, right? And I'm sure if you've submitted them via chat or email, have you done that for them to review, or just kind of waiting for a time for them to review it?
So always putting them, always following the process of putting the things in our drive, right? And what I've been told is put it in the drive for the team. It's literally been this expectation of me. Hey, if someone creates something, it's put in the drive, and then we're communicating it through the marketing chat that we're doing. Hey, this is the actions that we're taking. We've had questions that have been put out there, and then the big need to know is okay, we need to cover this. Typically, get covered on the marketing meeting weekly when we have everybody together, right? But everything is in teams. Everything's there. It's always been loops and teams, and trying to literally create all of these different accountability measures that rope everyone in so that we're all on the same page. And then I've tried to do it, and every time I do something, I'm told to literally do it in a different way. I created the loop.
Thank you, Travis. Can I interrupt you from here?
Yeah, you can. I have a couple of points after that, examples, but I'm sorry. Yeah, no, feel free. I don't want to just take over the... No, sorry.
Okay. So basically here, I believe here definitely some communication issues, right? And as a journal kind of understanding, if you at the time, anytime you are a presenter, And anytime we also have booth there. So you put the both ticket under your name without letting. I know presenter you have ticket, but the booth ticket you put under your name, and we don't even know until recently where's the ticket? And so you mentioned, hey, you put under your name without letting anyone know.
Well, no, when I was registering, it just automatically, I think, registers me for the booth ticket. Something, it wasn't meant like intentionally for me to just take all 3 tickets.
I know, and that's why Travis here.
Yeah,
I know, Travis. I'm not bringing you on this. Basically, it's here. Your communication here is not kind of very clear. So generally speaking, you already have a presentation ticket and register this kind of booth. You register under my name, register whoever's name. Not going to be you as a 2-person using 2 tickets to participate in this event. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep. We are completely on the same page. I'm trying to get that.
And the secondary is we have 2 presentations because based on our understanding, I keep explaining to you, based on our understanding, and the second presenter usually don't get a ticket. But we got a surprise. And first you got a ticket. I'm okay, right? But you say, yeah, you have 2 presentations. You have 2 tickets. I said, I'm not even sure that actually. So actually, we just knew that maybe 2 days ago, right?
Well,
so that's why we cannot make decision who's gonna participate in this event. Furthermore, the reason we cannot make decision is one of the KPI for you to promote this event is to using our tracking code to engage our customers, encourage them using our tracking code to register this event. Is this clear?
Yeah, so I understand that we're trying.
Thank you, and thank you. This is only yes or no answer. So the other one is based on the Siemens rules. If we have, I'm not sure the exact number. If we have, let's say, we invite 10 customers using our tracking code, Siemens will provide us the free tickets. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
So that's why we need to make a decision at the last minute to decide how many people using our tracking code to register this event. So then we know whether we will have this kind of a free pass to use internally or give it to some other customers.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Are you trying to set me into a yes or no answer here, Aaron?
No, it's very simple answer. That's why I would try to. I just try to make communication simple, easy.
For sure. So here's the thing: when we do in these moments, when we're trying to quote unquote make it simple and easy, we are glossing over very pertinent details that then could come back to haunt me from hey, I'm going to use this against you in a performance standpoint. When I literally could in this moment go back. And we could talk about bandwidth, and we could talk about so many other.
Of course.
Seriously.
There are a lot of things.
I gotta. So I've gotta.
A lot of things need to be used to make final decisions.
Yep. So, in this case, there's been a lot. Yes, we're all on the same page. We know that there's a tracking code. We're trying to get as many registrants as possible. Every employee that's talking to somebody that mentions and they're mentioning Realize Live. They're sending that tracking code, that link with our code, right? So we've asked Siemens, right, for our number.
At the end, we would like to get the final result from Siemens, right? How many people are using our tracking code to register this event?
That is correct.
Believe, and Travis, I'm here. We hire you, and we are on the same boat. I would like to enhance your sales marketing capability in this kind of technology kind of environments. I always do, even when we notice maybe you have some difficulty to learning this kind of new technology, we still want to give you opportunities. We don't want you failed. So that's why we give you multiple opportunity to present the plan simulations, because I know that there are so many things in Siemens solutions here. We found one of the product maybe most suitable for you to help you just narrow down, just focusing one product only from the sales aspect, right?
Yes.
So you see here, we don't want you to to be felt, Travis. So we understand maybe you are not the best person, but we try to help when we're doing our business, we help our customers. We want to spend even more effort to help our internal employees. So you probably noticed that. And I cannot say 100% our customers are our friends, but majority of them are our friends. Do you agree that?
Yeah, I mean, on a customer-facing level, we have very friendly, I'd say, relationships with our clients. I think that's...
Yes.
Yeah.
So the reason why we care them. Sometimes we care them more than we care ourselves, especially myself, right? So however, come back to the employee here. So our intention is we work as long as we can until you retire. So that's a long way to go. And if there's something that say may not fit our business, we work together to fix the problems. So deeply in my mind, I try to help others. So that's why we make so many friends because people feel that, people understand that. Unfortunately, at this moment, Travis, a lot of common you pointed to us is you don't feel that. You feel that we kind of bring you, we kind of take your power off you, and all this kind of thing. It's not our intention. So even the other day, you keep mentioning that. I mentioned about maybe, hey, and Travis, and maybe you looked and maybe you're gaining some weight. You need to do more exercise. You only focusing on the first statements. You intentionally, maybe unintentionally, I'm not quite sure the reason. The second paragraph is you need to do more exercise.
I don't want to talk about that because I literally... Okay, we got to stop this, please. I was almost 400... Okay, all right, please. Aaron, please give me just a second on this one. Please.
Sure.
I'm just asking. I was almost 400 pounds in my life. I was hospitalized for a week in DKA. I almost died, with my diabetes. I'm very self-conscious about my weight. Okay, it is to the point. I don't need to mention anything about this professionally. This is all this doesn't even ever need to be there. But why we're even talking about this is so I want it to stop. I seriously I don't even feel confident going up and presenting for this company right now because of how I look. I've been talking to my wife about this for a number of weeks. I recognize that some things with, I think it's diabetes related. So I don't want to talk about it. And why it keeps coming up. But okay, if I don't, I'm going to just put it out there now so we can just stop it. I just want it to stop. Do you guys want to just do the presentations next week? Because I'm feeling like I can't do that.
Travis, nobody wants to harm. No, nobody want to do any harmness to you. To be honest, it's all very friendly conversation. This is the only point I hope you understand. If we did something wrong, we're gonna avoid it in the future. Something hurt your feeling, but we really don't know before that, right? So I think that's the point.
The whole purpose here is I'm using mine as example because I gained weight quite a lot when I started this business. And my doctor asked me to do more exercise. So that's what I'm trying to keep doing these days. So that's my personal experience I would like to share with you. I'm not trying to discriminate you or not trying to do anything to hurt you. Travis, hopefully you understand this. So Travis, you are muted.
Yep, I'm good. Yep.
Okay.
I think what Aaron was going down the road is there is a misinterpretation of the communication. So we know that we can obviously work on that on both ends. And I think building a better, overall structure, routine of, communication line, I think that's what we're working towards. So with respect to time, Aaron said he has 5 more minutes left. Let's talk about Realize Live. And I know, Travis, that was just in the heat of the moment. You just mentioned there that you didn't think that you could present. is that something that you want to explore? Or
I can do it. Just I don't. Yeah,
Travis,
no, I'm good.
If you feel not comfortable, and just let us know, and just be straightforward. Not let us know after the fact, right? Yeah. So we are very open-minded, so we don't mind anything here. So like you just mentioned that you afraid to present this thing or that thing, I can say, and Travis, I can make the decision right now. You don't have to present if you don't have to, right? So so you can be we tried. That's why there's a couple of things here. You say you cannot at the very beginning. You say you cannot be there 4 days in a row, and now you just mentioned you don't want to be in front of people or in front of the presentation. So Travis, I can make the decision right now, and Travis, you don't have to participate in real-life life, and we will have some backup plan to taking care of this. Are you okay with this?
I want to participate in Realize Live. I mean, I wanted to do. I set all this up for a reason.
I thank you for your willingness, and thank you for all your contributions. But also, you express you have some concern. Now, I'm really taking some action to eliminate your concern.
Okay, yeah, just whatever you feel is necessary. It's fine. Whatever judgment.
Yeah, it's okay, and you have your feeling. I feel again, Travis. I mentioned this several times now. Deeply in my mind, I want to help not just our customers. I would like to spend more time with our internal employee to help them to grow their career. That's deeply in my mind. Because business work, to be honest, is to me, and if it affect your life, if it affect your family, I don't think business is going to be a good anyway, right? So I always want to put your family and your career path in the first place. If there conflict and maybe taking care of your family more than taking care of the business here. This is always the message I expressed in front of any of our employees here. Do you have a feeling of that?
I understand what you're saying. I do.
Yeah, Travis, you probably know that during we are getting those kind of a Medicare or whatever benefit for our employee here, we even consult you which one is the best for your options. Do you know the reason why?
Well,
we feel you have a need, and for this, Mason doesn't need this.
Yeah, I didn't realize Mason wouldn't get. He wouldn't need it.
It's okay, but it's okay. We asked Mason as well, but we care more about you because we know you are desperately need this. Do you agree? At a time, we find the best option for you. Because we have multiple options, we can save money for the company and by choosing the other option. But we feel there's better option for you. We choosing the more expensive options.
Yeah, I understand.
Do you appreciate that?
Yes, I mentioned on the last call when we talked. Yes, I very much appreciate getting into.
I don't feel, to be honest, and Travis, listen conversation. I don't feel you appreciate. And what we did for you, but you more kind of complain what we did in doing our business.
Aaron, it's more so that,
And Travis, furthermore, you remember during the Christmas, yes, the building has some issues, and you said maybe you have some issue to go to the second floor washroom. I say, Travis, you know what? You say you have some disability. I say, Travis, you do not need to disclose anything to me. If you feel you have a difficulty to go to the second floor washroom, maybe you can work from home until they fix the problem. Do you agree? And we taking care of you more than we taking care of the business, which require you to be in the office.
I appreciate.
Yeah,
these
thank
things.
you. So, Travis, since then, and you haven't really expressed you want to go back to the office, I mentioned to you that all the buildings washroom issue, whatever issue has been fixed. So you since then you haven't mentioned that you want to go back to the office.
Okay.
So because we understand and working from home is easier for you, then we say, yeah, you know what? And as long as you can perform your job, to me, honestly, it doesn't really matter.
Give me a chance to talk about the.
But we would like to set up this kind of routine kind of work. That's why we ask you to work in the office to start with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Travis, I think I, based on my understanding at this moment, I cannot make this kind of judgment, but I'm not sure. So far, this is the company maybe treat you the best, or I'm not quite sure, right?
I appreciate the getting insurance secured. In the United States, it's one of those things where, to be candid, I've always been offered with an employer. So this was the first circumstance I've ever been in where, I had a stipend. And so, it was just a matter of with, disabilities and insurance costs here in the United States, they're very expensive. So I do really appreciate the efforts to get me the insurance. I think that there's another conversation about the commission and the expectations but that's another time.
Travis, we would like to set out our environment to help you as much as you can, as we can. However, the only one thing we ask from you for return is the performance, the sales numbers. So far, almost it's after 6 months and almost the first half of 2025. So if you compare our projected revenue, new sales revenue, and the number you generated here, a lot of them even we just give to you and your team, right? So even that, I would like to see the percentage of the sales revenue here. So I can say even you probably very disappointed as well, right?
Yeah, that's an understatement because I'm almost $30,000 year over year behind in my earnings, and that impacts my family deeply. Had I known that it was going to take literally doubling our revenue just to even out my earnings year over year compared to what my last role, I would have had to take some serious time to. That's very difficult to ask, and I'm in a
thank you, and Travis. I think we run on time here. I have to cut you off, and I don't have a lot of time. I have another meeting. I have to go.
For sure. No, yeah, it's probably best we don't talk about that one because that's where my family emotions get involved. At this moment, and if it's something personally, if we can help, and we will do our best to help. But if something that we cannot help, unfortunately, and Travis and we do not want to get involved on those. If you are willing to disclose anything and we can help, we would like to do our best to help. Okay. So, and the decision, and we will send a written decision based on for the realized life. And most likely here, I will let you know, just be prepared, and you may not necessarily participate in the realized life, and we might be we are using our backup plan to taking care of this realized life. Okay, I was just saying that the comments about weight make me feel self-conscious, and it makes me question, but it wasn't a matter of if I can do it or not. I'm fully...
Yeah.
It's literally the thing it's what I love doing more than anything else. So.
And sorry about that. I have to leave now, and I'm late already.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, Ian, Tengen, do you need me to stay on, or do you?
Not from my end, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just let me know if any questions pop up, or you need any other additional information. Like I said, I'll have some more stuff coming soon. But yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. I just want to make things work. Okay?
Likewise.
Thanks, guys.
I agree. Yeah. So I think keep us up to date with anything, and then we'll likewise we'll have to circle back. So.
Yep, for sure. Thank you. I'll talk.
Thanks for your time,
All right.
Travis.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye. Bye.